Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to the Tash Talks live show. We are in fact on episode 30 freaking 4. Oh my goodness. Say hello in the chat box when you're jumping on live. Hello, Karen. And of course, if you're watching us on the replay, put down hashtag replay. So I always love to start the Tash Talks live show with kind of like an update, a life and a business kind of update. So first and foremost, episode 15 of the Tash Talks podcast is out today. Every Friday is it's like a freaking party. We party hard when it comes to the Tash Talks live show. And then, of course, we've got the Tash Talks podcast. It's just an epic freaking day. And this week's episode is all about breaking through your income glass ceiling. Oh, it's a juicy and a freaking spicy one. Be ready to be called out. And I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 subconscious upper limits that are preventing you from making more wealth. This is such a massive topic. So many of my clients, when they come to work with me, they're stuck at an income level. And you'll probably can absolutely relate to this. You're stuck at making the 2, the 3, the 4, whatever it is, cash months every single month. And you're just like frustrated and it deflates you. And you're just like, why? Why is this not working? You're battling your head. Is it the strategy? Is it a mindset thing? Like, I totally and utterly get it. So in this week's episode, I really dive into the subconscious blocks, what upper limits are and what actually could be stopping you. Because like I always say, awareness is key. Once you have the awareness over what you are not seeing, what you are not doing, what you are allowing to happen, that's when you can really kind of change things. It all starts in the awareness first. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I'm your coach. A free live workshop that I done this week was epic. Honestly, it was just fire. The energy on the live call, the DMs I've been getting afterwards, the emails about it, like, it's just like incredible. And I'm just so over the moon about that. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do a replay, but there is a replay. It's going to be going out. If you want the link for that replay, then just send me a DM or the team NCC a DM and we'll get that out to you. And if you've already signed up for the workshop, sorry, and you couldn't make it live, you will be getting that replay sent out to you today. So do not worry. It is going to be in your hands very, very soon. It's not one to miss. It's probably around 90 minutes of absolutely juice where we go into 3 pillars of creating 6-figure success. So we go into the subconscious shifts, CEO mindset. We go into the CEO strategy where we really kind of dive into content and mastering your messaging. I feel like this can be something that so many people miss. When my clients come to work with me and I have a look over their Instagram, they're like, I'm not sure why it's not working. Then I see it and I'm like, this is exactly why it's not working. This is exactly why it's not landing with your clients. This is exactly why you're not getting consistent clients. So that's like music to their ears. They're like, oh, thank goodness. Because I know how it can feel when you know and you feel you're doing all the work, yet you're not seeing the results. If you're doing all the work, why is it not happening? If you're working, you're hustling, you're putting the posts out there, you're doing the emails, maybe you're doing a podcast, and maybe you're doing blogs, and you feel like you're doing all the things, and yet you're still not seeing the consistent cash months, you're still not seeing those consistent clients sign up, then we need to sort this. And the last pillar of that is CEO systems, how you are supported in the back stages of your business. It's all about the behind the scenes. And I use this example on the workshop. You guys follow me on Instagram, right? If you don't, at Natasha Clark Coaching, come on over. What you see, okay, so what you see on Instagram, oh, this is going to be a great piece of content. What you see, oh, just had a download, guys. Download. Sorry, you've got to write this down right now. This is what I do if I get content ideas. What you see, what actually happens. Oh, yeah. So what you see on social media is me walking Santiago, being in the park, me having lunch with my mum yesterday, me out shopping, having a massage, me sitting down watching Netflix. Like, that's what you see on social media, okay? What you don't see unless you're a client of mine in behind the scenes of my world, or if you're listening to this live, what you don't see is what goes on behind the scenes, which is my social media is my front window. So that is already doing all the attraction marketing that I need it to do. It's growing my audience and it's growing the deepness, the connections in my audience members that I've already got to bring them in closer. I want energy. I want to be closer. So that's already doing the work for me. Then guess what? There's automations in place. If someone wants to come into my world and work with me one-on-one, get one of my packages, join my tribe membership, buy one of my online courses, join Conscious Coach. It's all available there. So then while I'm out having a massage and I come out, it's not lucky, it's not magic that I come out and I'm like, oh, I just signed a client, right? Trust me, I've done the work to get to that point. And I think this is really important that we pull back the curtain of what goes on behind the scenes, because so many people may think it's lucky girl syndrome. It's like, oh, it's just because of this, or it's because there's a time limit to it. Oh, Tash has been doing this 6 years, so of course she gets there. No, because I've had clients that have been able to scale their business and have consistent cash months and consistent clients in 6 months of starting their business, in a year of starting their business. Like, it's not a time thing. It's not, oh, well, Tash has been doing it 6 years, so of course that's going to happen. There's systems behind it, there's strategy behind it. I'm doing the work subconsciously, I'm doing the work on the strategy, and I've got the working behind the scenes of the operations and the support. So of course that is going to happen, it's going to work. Okay, so it's really important that, and this is what I dive into in this workshop, the importance of knowing what these 3 pillars are. That is how you run a successful six-figure plus business, because there's only one of you. There's only one of you. You are one in a freaking million. And however incredible your team are, or one team member or no team, you have to have support, because you want to stay in your zone of genius. That's how you attract clients in. That's how you make money in your business. You can't be doing everything. So you need to learn how to manage your business like a CEO. So you're not being scattery and like doing this and like doing this and unorganized, and you're not planning ahead and you feel so overwhelmed with it all. Well, of course you do. So if you want access to this workshop, then just send me a message saying I'm your coach workshop, and I'll send you over the link. So let's get into some questions with the time that we've got today. It's going to be a lot shorter and sweeter than normal. So let's go. Just want to say, I love your podcast, Tash Talks. I wake up every Friday excited to listen to your new episodes. Thank you. How do you think of all the topics? Okay, great question. Firstly, I just want to say thank you so much. This is like music to my ears. Why? Because this is exactly why I'm my own hype girl. I create Tash Talks live show, hype it up. I create the podcast to come out on the same day for a reason, right? The whole point of why I wanted to do the podcast is so that it was consistent, and every single Friday you were excited to come on. So you just saying that has literally just been like, tick, this is exactly what I wanted to create. So I'm so glad that I have been able to create that. That's the first thing. And the second thing what I want to go into is into how I do my my topics for my podcast is this. Firstly, it sounds really simple, but this is sometimes what we forget. I ask my audience. I ask you questions. I put it out as my Insta stories. I want to create content that my audience wants to hear, wants to learn from me, wants to know from me. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is I have done a shed load. Trying to keep this PC. A shed load. No, not PC, PG. A shed load of ideal client work, right? So I know my ideal client inside out. I know what she's thinking, know what she's feeling. I do so much work on the clients that are coming into my world, the people that send me DMs that want to work with me, the clients that have gone on to create huge, massive results. I'm always in my research mode of like trying to find their pain points and their pleasure points. So that to me is so, so important. So then when it becomes creating podcast topics, it's not hard, because I know what my audience want to hear and want to see. And then where I want to kind of go with the podcast is then I want to get guests in. And I've had a few people approach me, and I just want to, because I've been doing this now on my own, I want my first guest to be like, I don't know. There's just an energy about first guest. So I'm just trying to work through what that looks like. But I'm absolutely loving the podcast. And I think you can tell. And I think that kind of carries its own energy. That's how I feel. I feel like when you're doing something from a place of pleasure and play, the energy is just there. It's sweet. It's potent. It's like, oh, it feels freaking good. Right. So, and I think that gets delivered in the podcast. So yeah, hope that answered your question. You seem to have a great balance between strategy and mindset perfectly. Not too much of of either of them, just a great balance. How did you find this balance? I think, if I'm being honest, let me just get Penelope because I think she's barking like that. In, quick, in. Here you go, come in. Good girl. Say hello to all the people. Say hello. Hello. Here's little Penelope. She's very, very tiny. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah, cutie, aren't you? So, okay, if I'm being totally honest to answer this question, what I would say is from doing so much of what I thought I needed to do in order to be successful. I think when I was starting my business, there was so much noise around strategy, around hustle, around if you want it bad enough, you know, the lack of sleep, the lack of food, the lack of, like, I'm exaggerating here, but it was that kind of mentality. So I think it was I was very easily swept up into all of that. And don't forget, when you're starting your business, you know, you haven't really, there's a lot of work that you're doing on yourself still, never mind just the strategy to stand in your feminine energy and stand in your power and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do, so what I'm going to stand for. And I think when you're starting your business, you're so scared to do anything outside the box, aren't you? You're so scared that you'll do things wrong because what do I know? This person's saying that this is how you can become successful. Well, why am I going to go against the grain? I'm going to do this. But I kept finding things harder than potentially everybody else. And I was craving so much feminine energy. I was craving so much of the energetics. And I wanted to create a more deeper kind of connection to my intuition and my soul. So I kind of went on the search for this because strategy is great and it's so freaking important in your business. But if it's not aligned strategy, if you can't execute it in a way where it feels fun and your energy's behind it, then I'm not surprised it's not working for you. Okay. So I really went on that search. So I think I went on the opposite and then went so into that, which also is not very helpful when you go so much into feminine energy and into the being, because sometimes you can go too far and just think that everything's going to come and be done for you, right? You know, I'm in alignment and I've got this download and I'm just going to meditate, it's all just going to happen. No, like, being real with yourselves, you need to do the doing needs to happen. Someone needs to create the PayPal button if you want somebody to pay you, right? So I think from this I started to kind of create my own way and kind of bring this, and I like this, but I want to bring it and do it in this way. And I think that's where I created Soul Strategy, where I wanted to put the emphasis on the strategy is very, very important. But more importantly is the soul. More importantly is doing that. Please stop. Doing that inner work to be able to execute the strategy. And if you've been following me for a while, I've been on Tash Talks for a while, you would have heard me talk about the two launches I had. One was a £60,000 launch and the other one was a £600, both doing the same strategy. Now, if that doesn't scream, it isn't the strategy that makes you successful, and it's actually doing the belief work. I had tons of beliefs that came up for that second launch. I had tons of pressure. I just had like a lot. And if you don't navigate through that, you're not going to get the results that you desire. So for me, the perfect balance is between mastering the urine again. That's extremely important. You know, those subconscious blocks, those pesky limiting beliefs are going to crop up. Stepping into that CEO badass version of yourself, because it is a version. It isn't coming from the thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors that you are doing right now. It's not. It's you having to up level into a different identity. Somebody that sees things very differently. Someone that executes things very differently. Someone that makes big bad moves. Someone that believes in themselves and works through these beliefs. Like that, I welcome in your higher self. So it's, you have to step into her. And you have to stop thinking that the results will come and then you'll believe. No, you believe and the results come. How about you just go all in? How about you take the big, bad, bold moves and you back yourself 1,000,000%? How about you work on your inner power? How about you work in standing in your feminine energy and stand in a way where it's powerful and you feel strong and you feel confident and you're executing strategy and you're just like, boom, yes, boom, I freaking arrived. It's that, stand in that energy. I definitely feel like I'm mastering, shall I say, the masculine and feminine energy. Like, I know how to show up. I know how to lean in. I know how to rest. I know how to work. And I think running a business, probably one of the keyest, as you can hear, I make my own language up, the keyest. It's one of the most key, it's probably one of the most important factors in business, is being able to know when you need to do and when you need to be. I think I'm still mastering that, but I think, yeah, I definitely think that. So I'm glad that you think that I have nailed that, and that's exactly what I teach, because I'm an embodiment of what I teach. I don't just tell you to do something and then I don't go and do it. That doesn't make any sense at all. I only teach you what I know to be true, what I know works, what I know will get results. And what I know is you have that potential in you, 1,000,000%. I have big CEO dreams, in your words, Tash, but right now I'm stuck at making 3K cash months as a coach. I love what I do and I truly desire to grow my impact and my income, but I want to see past this, but how? Hear this. Okay. You can have the 6-figure business in spite of being stuck at 3K cash months right now. You can have the 6-figure business in spite of feeling like a headless chicken, that you're not organized and you don't really know create a 6-figure business. That is where this work starts. You have got to have that belief. That is what is actually going to see you through this whole freaking roller coaster of a ride of a journey, is that belief. So if you do not have that belief right now and it is not rock solid, we need to work on that. It's so important that we work on that. Stepping into that belief first, then you align it with a strategy to match that. Then you align the CEO calendar. Then you align the CEO strategy. Then you align the mastering your messaging. Then you align really knowing your ideal client, like freaking nailing her, right? You know her. I say her because that's mine. You align it with that. Then you align it with the CEO system. So you've got the strategy, the systems, the calendar, the support to be able to keep this machine of a 6-figure brand company. Like, think bigger. Think bigger than where you are right now. Like, this to me isn't just a business. This is a brand. This is a company. This is an empire. Like, that is where I see NCC going. And, you know, I run 2 businesses. So I kind of see me as a bit of an octopus where they all kind of going off. I see it kind of all rising up. But before this could happen, there is no, she's lucky, right? Because if you go back to my podcast and listen to my life story, well, the short version of my journey of a broke ex-dancer to a 6-figure badass, right? I was not lucky. I have not had things just fall at my feet. I was never just that one that things were just all perfectly work out with, right? Now I am, because that's the belief system I've got. I believe it always gets to work out for me. What is meant for me will not pass me. If not this, then something better. I truly and utterly believe that right now. Even when all the chips are falling, I have this unshakable, unwaverable belief that it all gets to work out. I get to rise and shine every freaking day. Okay. And this is me being working on my belief systems. I never used to always think that way, far from it. So instead of being stuck in the lens of where you are right now, first of all, we're going to celebrate. You're making 3K cash months consistently every month. Like, yes, girl, well done. Now we want to scale that. We want to scale that. We want to work on your CEO mindset so your belief systems match your actual desire. Your desire right now is 6 figures. Right now, your current reality is 3K. Brilliant. We need to energetically bridge that gap. Then what we want to do is work on the business side of things. The strategy. What does your social media look like? Is it doing the legwork for you? Is it calling people into your world? Are you getting your DMs filled every day with clients potentially wanting to work with you, wanting to book calls? Can I have the link for that workshop? Is this happening? If not, we need to look at what that funnel looks like. Why is this not happening? Let's look at your ideal client. Let's look at your messaging. Let's look at your different forms of content you're putting out there. Are you really embodying what your transformation is? Are you really stepping into that power? Are you owning the authority of you're the go-to expert? Are you in the energy of you always gets to happen? You get to collaborate, you get to share audience, you get to make money, you get to change your clients' lives. Like, are you in that energy? Not right now. That's fine. Let's change that. Let's move that. Let's get you into that six-figure energy. Like I love this when my clients come to me and they go, Tash, I'm currently making, 2, 3, 4K per month. Brilliant. Let's freaking move. Let's go. I get so excited about this. I get clients that come to me and, some of my clients are making big K cash months, but then they're not feeling fulfilled. They're not happy. They're so busy in the business that yes, they've got all the money in the bank account, but they're not actually having the time or the freedom. And the freedom, the business comes down to you and what you desire. For example, I've got clients that are working to their business and changing their business. So they work 3 days like me. They're like, Tash, that's so inspiring. You get to be at home with Santiago. You get to do lives from your office with your cutest dog in the world. I work 3 days a week. That's my choice, right? That to me is freedom. I don't want a business that overtakes my life. I don't want to be working with so many clients and I've got so much money in the bank account and then my foot's off the pedal. I've lost the care of my client. That would never happen. But I don't want the business to be bigger than me. Like, that's not what I want. I want to make sure that I am in control of the business. The business can grow and roll without me. That's freedom. Signing clients and you're not actually physically chained to your desk. That's freedom. And this is what I teach you in, for example, working with one-on-one. Really stepping into how a CEO rolls her day. The day doesn't rule her, she rolls her day. I rule the day, right? It's my day. I decide what goes on. So being really intentional. You're a badass and you're going big places. Like, if you feel called to, send me a DM. Let's chat about working together. I think this could be really, really potent for you. Okay, so last question. My audience feels really cold. What's the best steps to take from this? Start a new account or warm this audience up? Right, few questions for you. The audience that you already have right now, are they your ideal clients? If they're not, and it was in a different business, then yeah, like, it'll be a lot more harder work for you to try and warm up somebody if they're used to you talking to them and having content about this, and then you're going to switch it up by doing this. So definitely find out if they're your ideal clients. If they are, then let's look at this. Why are they cold? Can't blame them. You've got to take the responsibility as the business owner. Are they cold because, being honest, are you not putting out valuable content? Like, you're not putting stuff out there that actually wants to make them engage, send you a DM, like, comment, save down, forward. Like, these are the types of engagements I'm talking about. Some of the things, like, I always teach this to my clients, like, it's not about how many likes you get. Like, that to me is just a vanity metric. What I'd much rather is how many people DM me about wanting to work with me, wanting to change their lives. Like, that's what I care about. It's not about what everybody else sees. Oh, she's got this much followers and this post it went viral. Yeah, but if I didn't get any DMs about working with me, then I'm just someone that goes viral on Instagram, right? We're building businesses here. We want clients. We want people coming into our world wanting to change their lives. Like, that's what we want. So being honest with yourself, if you were to go and have a review over your Instagram, like, is the content valuable? Is it making someone stop the scroll, engage, want to take the next step, press that follow button? If not, then we need to work on that. Is it that you're not being consistent in your posting? And I know when I use the word consistent, people go, oh, I can't post every day. I could also call BS to that. That would be one side of it. But there's also, I've got plenty of clients that are consistent but don't post every day. Okay, consistency isn't just the way you may be thinking it. It's very, very, very different. But you have to ask yourself, are you consistent? Are you consistently showing up? Are they somebody that you can trust? Do they know that you're always going to show up in Insta stories? Do they know that on a Friday you do this? Do they know that on a Wednesday you always show up for this? Like, do they know that? Do they trust you? That's how people buy, the know, like, and trust factor. And if you're not showing up and it's all a bit scatty and it's all a bit, oh, I kind of done this and I might have spoke about this, then, like, no, that's not consistent. And then another thing I want you to think about is, are you offering them next steps? Are you selling to them? So many people say to me, oh, Tash, I've got a cold audience. And then I ask them all questions and then I'm like, no, they're not cold. You're just not actually selling. That's a whole different thing. Is there some belief work that we need to do around that? And talking about the belief work, Is there belief work around you having a high engaged audience? Are you hiding behind a cold audience? Don't take this on as your reality if it's not. These are just some of the things that I'd want to get to the bottom of if we're working together. Is there a secondary gain to your Instagram blowing up? Is there a secondary gain to you being truly successful and making X amount of cash each month? Like, I want to get into those nitty gritties of it. You know, what's stopping you? When I say to you, you can be a 6-figure CEO badass who has a highly engaged community of incredible souls that love to buy from you. Like, how does that feel when I say that to you? Does it feel icky? Does it feel like, oh, it's not the reality? Like, there's some beliefs around there that we want to tackle. That's what I would definitely look at. And then we want to go into the strategy. So we want to look at your content. Like, do you have a social media strategy? Like, are you actually executing a strategy when it comes to your social media, what you're posting, your messaging, your Insta stories? Like, it's all a strategy. If you're not using a strategy for your, I use Instagram as an example, your Instagram, then of course you are just what we like to call it, winging it. And I done it for such a long time. I didn't realize there was so much strategy involved into this. I thought you could just show up. It's not how it works. So what I'd like to look at is what is working, what isn't working, and how we need to change and pivot so that you can step into the energy and the identity of someone that has a highly engaged audience, like truly, innately, deeply. And also we have a strategy that aligns to that. So I think it's never just what you think it is. It's a cold audience. Give me the secret sauce, the one tip that's going to completely change your audience from cold to hot. No, there's some work that needs to be done. If they are cold, they're not just going to go to hot. They need to be warmed up. They need to go to warm, and then they can go up from that. Okay. Guys, told you it's going to be short and sweet. You know what to do. If you want to take the next step and you are tired where you are right now, you feel frustrated making the 2, the 3, the 4K cash months every single month, and you want to up level, you want to step into a CEO badass, have a business that gives you the freedom, consistent clients and consistent cash months, then send me a DM with the word badass. Let's freaking do this. I love you. And remember that you are a badass. Bye-bye.